Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start learning. Let's start exploring. This is your very own indicator, Sibu Yoshima, and this is the one-stop destination wherein we all are gonna learn together and wherein we are gonna grow together. Give me a moment. Yeah. So I just shared my video. I hope my voice is, I'm audible. So I hope that that I'm audible enough. And you can see the screen as well. So now we have been told that how the narrator, who is the narrator, Kalki is the narrator. So how Kalki is talking about that we have no matter what happens to him, no matter even if there is some sort of war or destruction, but he's still gonna tell us the story. He's still going to narrate the story. He's still gonna narrate the story, right? All right. So he's not gonna stop. There's nothing that can stop him, right? Then we get to the fact that the manner of his death is a matter of extraordinary interest, right? Let me just check the mind. Yeah. So the manner of his death is a matter of extraordinary interest. It can be revealed only at the end of the tale, so that the manner, in the manner of you know of uh, whose death, who of King's death, is a matter of extraordinary interest. Now, how can you need to analyze and we need to understand that how can when we talk about death, how can it be something that is holding an extraordinary interest? It cannot, right? Death means basically when somebody dies, then what happens is that we mourn, right? But here in it's ironical and humorous, so the narrator is again and again trying to bring in humor and he's being ironical, so he's trying to bring in the irony as well as the humor, right? So we get to the point that we're in, where as I had mentioned in my previous video, M M dot A dot D A C, like highlight as well. You also highlight, right? Simultaneously. A dot C dot T dot C dot dot or C dot R dot C dot K dot. So these are basically the titles that have been, given. And now you need to ponder over the fact that, when these titles are given, when any sort of title, let's say, even you can take an example from nowadays, what happens nowadays is that, the people who actually deserve, do they get the titles, or the people who have the influence, they get the titles? So you need to understand that, if a title is being rewarded or if somebody is being rewarded, it doesn't mean that that person actually deserves that title or is basically, um, a recipient of that title. Instead, it could be because of the influence, because of the money or the wealth that they possess, because of the name that they possess, or because of the corruption. It could be because of anything, right? So writer, the the narrator is being humorous over here, and he's using the tool of humor over here. Yeah. Oh, now here was I. So uh, this we have done. Yeah. So now right here this, yeah, this also we have done. So the matter of his death is a matter of extraordinary interest, can be revealed only at the end of the tale. The most fantastic aspect of his demise was that as soon as he was born, astrologers had foretold that one day the Tiger King would actually have to die. So this is again, we can say that again the narrator is using humor over here, because the most fantastic, as I have mentioned in my previous video, that how astrologers predict the future, right? So in the similar manner, here in the most fantastic aspect of his demise was what demise, that means of his death, when he died. It was that as soon as he was born, as soon as he was born, when he was actually, very, very small, when he just entered into the, this mother earth, and uh, this uh, place, right? So astrologers had, foretold, that means had predicted that what did they predict? Now that one day the Tiger King would actually have to die. That's what they predicted. So what kind of prediction is it? Because one day everybody is gonna die, right? One day all of us will be, uh, you know, all of us will not be there. All of us will just disappear from the surface of the planet, from the surface of the earth, from the surface of this universe. One day, everybody knows that we all have to disappear. We all have to go. We all have to transcend onto whatever journeys we are supposed to embark on, right? For example, if a good person, you might have obviously come across in 11th standard too, there is this poem childhood, right? So in which Marcus Newton is basically telling you about that how, so he's telling about the childhood and the hypocrisy, and he's also mentioning the fact that how, when you are a child, you are being told time and again that how these stories, in order to instill morals and values, these children are told that how hell and heaven, the concept of hell and heaven exists, right? But when they grow up, they understand that there are no such countries, there are no such, because in atlas or in geography books or in any of the given maps, whether it be of India or of world, of the world, there is none, there is no such surface on which, or no such country, such a named or titled as heaven or hell. So they just exist in order to tell this to, in order to instill morals in the students and the children, right? We also, as teachers, keep on telling, as educators, keep on telling what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, right? So, in order to tell you how you should conduct yourself, So, therefore, they are going to. But now, when we are talking about that, how the Tiger King, would he be performing great actions, or would he be performing actions that are not great, that are in fact, you know, but listening to it. So you need to understand what, because the tiger is named, the king is named as the Tiger King. So would he be saving the tigers, or would he be, what, how is he associated with tigers? What kind of association or what kind of connection is there between tigers and him, right? So we are gonna start with that, study about that. Now, a child would grow up to become the warrior of warriors, hero of heroes. Again, humor. There is so much of humor that has been used. The tool of humor, the instrument of humor that has been used by the writer Kalki. So the child will grow up to become the warriors, hero of heroes, champion of champions. Uh, again, yeah, please do underline. Make sure that you underline all of it. Here again, humor has been used. Who will grow up to become the warrior of warriors. That means he wouldn't be the warrior. He would be the warrior of warriors. That means he would be having the upper hand. He would be the hero of heroes. He wouldn't even be the hero. He would be the hero of heroes. That means he would be the master, he would be the champion. He would not only be the champion, he would be the champion of champions. He would be that great. So he would be having that sort of personality, which would be so great in picture, which would be so noble in picture. That's what that's what at least appears on the surface. But let's see what happens. Right? Is it true or is it how is it gonna turn out to be? How the story is going to take a twist, right? So, but they bit their lips and swallowed hard when compelled to continue. The astrologers came out with it. This is a secret which should not be revealed at all, and yet we are forced to speak out. The child born under the star will one day have to meet with its death. So obviously, the child born under the star will eventually have to meet its death. So obviously, every child who is born on this planet, on this Mother Earth, uh, has to meet, has to, because we are not immortals, we are mortal beings. So we will obviously definitely meet our death. Death is something that we cannot avoid. Even in, when Kushwan Singh is talking about, he knows that his grandmother is going to die, but still, what we get to see is that his grandmother is, still alive, waiting for him, only waiting for him, so that she can celebrate. So uh, they will they so this is a secret which should not be revealed at all, and yet we are forced to speak out. So it's a kind of a secret which actually shouldn't be revealed, but they're forced to speak up. The child born under the star will one day have to meet its death. All right. At that very moment, a great miracle took place. So at that moment only, at that critical moment only, uh, when there was so much of chaos, and it was a chaotic environment, and very stressful environment, a great miracle takes place. And what was that miracle? An astonishing phrase emerged from the lips of the 10-day-old Jilani Jam Jam Bahadur, O wise prophets. Now, that was something that was very astonishing. That was something that, that is that 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 actually made people ponder over the fact that how can even a 10-day-year baby, utter any sort of word. So an astonishing phrase emerged from his lips. So he actually spoke up. And what did he say? The 10-day-old Chilani Chang Chang Bahadur. That was the name, right? You need to understand and keep in mind the how old was he when he spoke this sentence. Oh, wise prophets. Oh, wise prophets. Why? Because they were astrologers. They were able to predict the future. They could foresee the future, right? Um, so therefore he says, oh, wise prophets. Everyone stood transfixed in stupefaction. They looked wildly at each other and blinked. So everyone, they stood transfixed. That means they stood still, and they were in in a great state of mental uh, dilemma. That how is it possible, Uh, they looked wildly at each other, and therefore they looked wildly at each other. What is happening? What is happening? How is it possible? How is it possible? They started, sort of seeing each other. How is it possible? Am I what I'm listening to or hearing or seeing is it correct? Is it correct? Is it correct? Like it happens in the classroom sometimes, yeah. When you say something that is astonishing, right? Or when something astonishing happens, right? So, wise prophets, it was I who spoke. Now, Oh, now he's saying that, oh, wise prophets, it was I who spoke. Who is I? I is the Tiger King. It's the Jilani Jamjak Bahadur, right? So this time there were no grounds for doubt. And this time there were obviously when the Tiger King is himself admitting the fact that it was me who spoke. So there were no grounds for any doubt. It was the infant born just 10 days ago who had enunciated the words so clearly. So it was, this time there was no doubt at all. Why? Because it was the infant who was born 10 days ago. Can you imagine a 10 days child speaking or uttering words, uh, or who starts an enunciation? No. And that too so perfectly, you know it's just not possible. So it's something that is beyond our, uh, beyond the reach. I mean, what we have seen. Yeah, so the chief astrologer took all his spectacles and gazed intently at the baby. Now, the chief astrologer, what he did was that he took off his spectacles. So he took off his spectacles like this, right? And he was like, standing still, and he gazed intently at the baby. And he started gazing, that means observing, that means seeing the baby, staring at the baby, intently, too sharply, right? So all those who are born will one day have to die. We don't need your predictions to know that. There would be some sense in it if you could tell us the manner of that death. The royal infant uttered these words in his little squeaky voice. Now, can you believe that? The entire sentence is coming up from the mouth of this 10-day um, uh, old boy. Can you imagine that? It's just, I mean, all those who are born will one day have to die. We don't need your predictions to know that. So he's uttering these words that we don't need your predictions. We don't need anything from you. We all are familiar with that everybody who is born on this planet will ultimately come to the end of his or her life, right? That means everyone is gonna die. Tell us something. Tell us something unique. Tell us the manner of the death. Just tell me that what would cause that death? What would lead to my death? So the royal infant uttered these words in his little squeaky voice. And how was his voice? His voice was little squeaky, right? The chief astrologer placed his finger on his nose in wonder. So now the chief astrologer, what he did was that he uh, placed his finger on his nose in wonder. So he was wondering, and in that state of wonder, now sometimes our hands go on our nose or cheeks or on our forehead. So similarly, he was wondering, keeping his finger on his nose. A baby 10 days old opens its lips, in speech. And because it wasn't a, you know kind of a babble, um, that babies are do, and that too when they reach a particular stage. His lips moved and uttered words, and words are not only words, he could speak the entire sentences, and it was like a speech. Not only that, it also raises intelligent questions, incredible. And not only that, he also raised intelligent questions, rather like the bulletins issued by the war. office than facts. Again, this is a humor that has been used. So there's this humor that has been used. So again, baby barely 10 days old opens its lips in speech. Oh my gosh. Not only then an exclamation mark is there. So, oh my gosh. So you have to be surprised, right? Not only that, it also raises intelligent questions. So it's not only that, he also raises intelligent questions. It's not like that he's not able to understand anything and what's going around him and how his environment is, or what kind of prediction does the has the astrologer done. He's able to understand everything, and he on top of it, he's able to ask intellectual questions, right? So he's very intelligent, that means. So he's able, because he could ask intellectual questions at the age of he was only 10 days old, right? And that was incredible, rather like the bulletins issued by the war office than facts. And what he was saying was all, well, based on facts, that he wanted facts. He wanted that what could cause the death. He was actually, uh, you know, um, hinting. He was not only hinting, he actually asked the cause of. If you can tell me the cause of the death, then it's fine, perfect. But if you can't, then everybody is going to die. What's the big thing? What's new about it? Tell me something new. If you can tell me the cause, well and good. So the chief astrologer took his finger off his nose and fixed his eyes upon the little prince. Now what he does is, the chief astrologer, he takes his finger off his nose and fixes his eyes upon the little prince. So what, when you are astonished and when you are flabbergasted or when you're surprised, what you do is that, sometimes because he was wondering. So now after wondering, he actually took off his, finger from his nose and fixed his eyes upon the little prince. Now, the prince was born in the hour of the bull. This is again very important. Please underline it. Whatever I'm highlighting or you may call it underlining or highlighting. You are supposed to do that as well. Whenever I'm, recording, or whenever I'm live, coming live, then you have to have your books ready along with me. Currently, I'm doing Vistas, so you are supposed to do Vistas with me. Then I will be coming back to Flamingo and we will be revising Flamingo, right? So the prince was born in the hour of the bull. The bull and the tiger are enemies. So when was the king born? The king was actually born in the when was the king born? Tell me. And I'm gonna ask you questions and you're gonna respond me in the comment section below, right? So comment in the comment section below whatever I'm asking you to do. First and foremost, write down the name of the lesson. Secondly, write down the name of the book. Firstly, write down the name of the book. Secondly, write down the name of the lesson. Thirdly, write down the name of the author, right? This is how you are gonna proceed. And then whatever question I ask, you have to answer that. So the prince was born in the hour of the bull. The bull is actually, the bull, when you talk about these two animals, the bull and the tiger, they're enemies, they're class apart, class apart, not class apart, they're, way apart. They're opposite to each other. They're like polar sides, like north and south, right? So the bull and the tiger are enemies, therefore death comes from the tiger, he explained. You may think that Crown Prince Jang Bahadur was thrown into a quake when he heard the word tiger. That was exactly what did not happen as soon as he heard it pronounced. So you may think that the Crown Prince Jang Bahadur was thrown into a quake So you may think that he might be thrown into a quake when he heard the word tiger. That was exactly what did not happen, but this was exactly that actually did not take place, that actually did not happen. This was exactly something that actually was quite, again, something that was different, right? So as soon as he heard it pronounced, the crown prince gave a deep growl, right? Terrifying words emerged from his lips. Let tigers beware, right? So the crown prince gave a deep growl instead, and terrifying words emerged. And terrifying words emerged. Now you have to remember this line, very, very important. Again, that terrifying words emerged. And what were those terrifying words? They were let tigers beware. That means let them beware. Forget about me. Forget about me dying because of something, because of some animal. Over here, we are talking about tigers. So let them be afraid. Let me do something that would actually, for instance, in this lesson we will see that how he starts killing animals, not animals, let's say he starts killing tigers, because tigers would be the, herein we get to see that how tigers would be the cause of his death, because he was born in the hour of the bull, right? And bull and tigers are opposite, right? Like they are uh, sort of enemies, right? And it's not sort of enemies, they are enemies. So obviously tiger would be responsible for his death. So now he's not saying that, oh, save me from tigers, what can I do? No, nothing like that. He just said, let tigers beware. This account is only a rumor, rife in Pratipadandapura, but with hindsight, we may conclude it was based on some truth. But now we may conclude that it might have been, based on some truth. This account is only a rumor, right? But in Prativandapuram. But with hindsight, if we see closer, we may conclude it was based on some truth. All right. So for now, this is it. This is Sukutu Joshi signing off. If you have any queries, you can again let me know in the comment section below. Please, guys, do support this channel. Do like this channel. Do share this channel with your friends, with your relatives, with your family members, whoever you can share it with. Um, let's keep sharing. Let's keep all gaining. Let's keep growing. Let's keep um, uh, blossoming and blooming. So yeah, let's all keep evolving, right? So let's all share and care for each other, so that everyone can benefit, right? So सबके बेहतरी बेहतरी के लिए सब किस you know guys, मुझे सपोर्ट चाहिए, राइट? सो आप लोगों का सपोर्ट मिलेगा और सब तक ये अगर क्या कहते हैं वीडियो पहुंचेंगी तो सबका भला होगा। सिर्फ आप ही का भला नहीं होगा, आप अपने फ्रेंड का भी भला करेंगे तो आपका और भला होगा। शेयरिंग इज केयरिंग, है ना? आपने सुना ही होगा, तो आप प्लीज शेयर करिए ये वीडियोस। आप अपने रिश्तेदारों के साथ कर सकते हैं। सबसे पहले तो अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ करिए, फिर रिश्तेदार, फिर फैमिली, फैमिली फिर रिश्तेदार, ठीक है? और चैनल को सपोर्ट करते रहिएगा। So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and hit the like and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload any sort of video. So you just have to go there and you have to choose. When you hit the bell icon, you have to choose all so that you get notified every time whenever I upload any sort of video. And please, guys, do comment in the comment section below If you have any query, if you have any doubts, I will be more than happy to help you out, right? Whenever I can, whenever I get time, I will be more than happy to help you guys. प्लीज मेरे चैनल को लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए। बेल आइकन होगा वहाँ पे, घंटी का आइकन होगा, आप उसको हिट करिए, उसको दबाइए, आपको ऑप्शंस मिलेंगे ऑल में जाइए, और ताकि आपको हर मेरी वीडियो आप तक पहुंचते रहे, और हम इसी तरह से एक यूट्यूब फैमिली बन के बढ़ते रहें आगे। ठीक है, with this I would like to end my lecture. This is Sukrit Joshi ma'am signing off. Till then, let's all keep learning, let's all keep praying.